right, and welcome back to episode 2 of the LooneyBin Podcast, brought to you by LooneyBin Productions. My name is Teddy.
I found my mic. My name's Nate.
I'm Preston.
I'm John.
And I'm Nick.
All right, so as per usual, we're going to start with the word of the day according to Merriam-Webster. Today's word of the day is impeccable. Impeccable.
Don't we know what that word means?
I already did.
I'll throw a weird guess out there.
This game had a short shelf life.
Yeah, we did talk about that idea of like if we do know what it is, maybe we just give the most shit answer possible.
Yeah, so
and just try to whatever you can come up with. Like, yeah, I'll go with that.
So new viewers of the stream / podcast. This game, basically every single week, we're going to pick out the word of the day on Webster's, and then Teddy will present the word without giving us the definition, and then we'll go around, and basically whoever has the closest to the right definition gets a point. But if it's a word like this, where we all like know the definition, then the person who can come up with the most creative answer, Teddy will be the judge who has the best answer. So it's like,
great idea.
What game is that? Like, not apples to
I'm
apples,
always
but
the judge, even if I'm
taboo.
even if I'm giving
Taboo.
a definition. I'm always the judge.
Ted's
Who
always
has
the judge.
best.
We're in here.
You're
Your
Tyler
turn.
Hero.
Yep.
That's
So
okay.
what?
Always me.
Taboo. What was the word?
Impeccable.
Impeccable.
I was going to say imbecile, but
Yeah, go ahead, start us out, Nate. You got something in that big brain of yours?
So impeccable. It actually means that it's impervious or impossible to be pecked.
That was the obvious answer. I came up with that exact same joke in my own head.
I bet you did.
But here's actually the real answer, real definition here. Impeccable, derived from the word peckish. Feeling a little peckish myself. You're a little hungry.
figures.
Okay. And impeccable means you've developed the ability to never go hungry. So, yep.
Interesting. That was actually the first definition that I came up with, and then I decided that wasn't interesting enough, and then I went to my definition.
Well, you stole mine, so I had to go with the shit one. So.
Right, gotcha.
Impeccable. This is a most but don't know this. It's a noun. It's a noun actually. And I mean, you know, it's all right. Sometimes you don't know, sometimes you do. That's why it's fun every week. But impeccable. This is a person that likes to shave dogs. You know, that is. Like it's a fetish for them, or what? Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
like what's the level of
it's
liking
lightly,
here?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're more impeccable, you're probably more enthused with it. So you can choose, really. You know.
Like Michael Vick level?
Right. Well, you know, go as you please, but left hand's free.
Actually, impeccable is a phobia, some would say, or fear, but it's not be misconceived with the fear of birds, but actually not being able to get pecked by a bird.
Oh.
So it's a little, you know, kind of in the back of your head. You're walking around, see a bird, you're just kind of hoping for it's your lucky day. Getting a little sniped out of the blue.
Isn't that what Nate said though?
That is what Nate said.
Did you say the fear? I said the fear of not being pecked. Is that?
So you want to get pecked?
Yes,
fear
you
of
want to be. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's the opposite of just
Okay.
like, oh, like Preston hates birds. By the way, he's afraid of them.
He is.
So it's the opposite of that. You want to have interaction with them,
you
and you're
need it
afraid
in
that
your
you won't
life.
get that. You know what I mean?
Dressing up in a bird
Interesting.
costume. All right, results are in.
Big bird.
All right, well, results are in, and Nick definitely had the most creative
All
answer.
right, let's go.
So, I mean,
You know, even after I said it, I was like, you know what I should have done? I should have done the fur shaved off of a dog is impeccable. Oh, a little bit of impeccable on the floor. You know, I had to sweep that up like.
A little
Next
bit of a
time.
pecker on the floor.
Because I think every time we've done a person, we're always like, it's a person and this. I'm like, no, maybe we should stretch it out. But
So that
actually, the definition of free from fault or blame, flawless. So,
so close.
It is.
guess we're just dumbasses. but
So
that's okay.
that gives Nick commanding lead with 2 points. Now
you know,
last
whatever.
last week winning, and this week also. So It's 2 to 0 to 0 to 0
To 0.
to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
All
Life
right.
comes
So
at you fast.
speaking of
Sure
birds, has anybody ever been shit on by a bird? I have once. I was in Nebraska. I was at my cousin's wedding. We were walking down the streets of Omaha, and it was just one of those things where you didn't know what was going on. A little bit of white hits right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that kind of looks like cookies and cream ice cream. But I knew.
It always looks so good.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But I was like, what the heck is that? And then it's so funny because then you know, I was with my dad and I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, that's good luck. And I thought about that. I'm like, the person that came up with that saying was lying.
No, yeah, they just
It
look
is
like a
not
dumbass.
good luck. It is not good luck.
Yeah, they're like, you're like, dude, you just got shit on. It's like, no, it's good luck. It's good luck.
Yeah, trust me, guys.
Yeah.
No, do you guys know what bird shit's made out of? Like,
Oh, it's a wombo combo.
yeah,
Oh my
they have
God.
this thing called a cloacha in their fucking. It's actually a 3-in-1. They lay their eggs and they piss and they shit out of the same hole.
So is it?
Like, so, and their piss and shit
So it's
is
kinda like a-
combined into one. So that's why it's
And s-
white and black.
And
those
so
words
then,
out of
so then
there.
the eggs are just covered in piss and shit.
I guess so. Maybe the speckles on the eggs are a little something else.
Wowee. Yeah, I've had.
Tuning in
Wow,
to the
we-
century ship.
Dude.
Holy moly.
I have two, like, definite experiences with birds that are just like, what the heck is going on? One time I was driving the old Explorer, and I was just going nuts down this straightaway road,
Okay.
and then one of the little songbirds just flew up out of the ditch, and there was nothing that I could do. It slapped the front of the car. It flew up into the windshield.
Oh,
and I
God.
just kept going.
Brutal.
Because there was nothing I could do.
Here, Henry, if you're
We
gonna
have-
talk,
yeah, we
you
have
should,
contribution
You
from
should,
Teddy.
you should come
Or
to a
from-
mic.
from Henry.
Here's a bird story for you. So,
Henry Dammeyer,
I was,
everyone.
Here, stick your head.
Yeah,
over
you
here.
can't see him,
alright.
but he's
Yeah.
here.
I'm here.
Eh,
I'm here.
Classic
Down.
Henry
Alright,
in
down.
the photo.
Alright,
Down
bird
there,
story?
you're in-
Alright,
you're- yep.
So I'm in. So my bird story. So going on a cruise on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the road, everyone gets
There's also
it.
a glass right behind you. Just careful.
Yep, I got it.
Yep.
Anyway, going on a cruise on the road.
Uh-huh.
Got a girl in the side.
As
In
yep.
the side. Windows down.
Classic.
Music blaring.
Yep.
So we were parked for a second. No need to get into that.
Yeah.
And then
No need.
and then I rip out in the Civic, going like 50 on the gravel, and then a bird like flew up, hit like the corner of the windowsill, and then just died and landed in my car.
No way.
What?
On
So there's just a
on you
dead
or the
bird.
girl?
Just in the back seat of my car.
Oh, the
just
back
hanging
seat.
out.
Was it like bleeding? Oh fuck! Wait.
No, I wasn't bleeding. It just was just fucked.
So you just had to barehand that shit and just
Wait.
throw
I
it
just
out of your
barehanded
car?
it and threw it out of my car.
Was she scared? Was the girl
No,
frightened?
it was funny as hell.
Did you get another date out of that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for
Hold on.
sure.
I'm-
Well, it was in the Civic. What do you think?
I'm
yeah,
still
we were in the
confused.
Civic.
I'm confused about the physics of this. So how did it hit the car?
So okay, so driving along in the car right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's the window. So
Yeah.
it like was flying this way, and it just barely hit like the
Just clipped
corner
it.
of the wind.
Oh, and then
right
it
here, and it just like.
sucked it in, kind of.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh God!
Wham,
Wait, so it
bam.
wasn't dead?
No, it was dead.
Oh, okay.
It was dead. I picked that shit
And he
up.
said, "I made sure it was dead."
Jeez Louise.
No, yeah.
Nice.
There's my
Holy.
bird story.
That's intense.
Oh,
Was it?
bird
Wait, was
story.
it during the night?
Oh yeah, it was pitch black.
Oh my
That's
God!
Oh.
scary.
Wait, I don't think birds really fly around. That bird
You
must
sure it
have been
wasn't
psycho.
a bat?
No,
I've seen
Henry
bats.
picked it
It's a
up.
bird.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
Wow.
for your contribution. That's Henry Danmeyer, everyone, from our live studio audience. Junior. What's your major? Com major. Great major. Wonderful. One of the best majors actually at Gustavus offered.
That's a lie.
Also available. Right?
Yeah.
I have
He's
another
always
bird
available.
story if we want to get into
Always
that.
available.
It's with my dog.
Yeah. Hit
Yeah.
Henry up in the Twitch chat.
He
Yeah.
he
Wow.
works hand in hand. Hey, no, we don't need saving. So my turn, eh? You guys already.
Okay.
Oh, guys.
Yeah,
These guys are
John
pitting
never
us
gets
against.
a turn.
You guys are. Yeah. What the world? What in the world?
All right, John. Who's with the story?
So, barn swallows. Ever seen those? Ever
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
of
yeah.
them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All
Well,
the
you city
time.
folk,
All the
Preston,
time.
you understand?
My dad
what a
always
barn
told me
I'm
swallow
the
is?
only city folk here.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm
I'm
considered
city
city folk in.
I'm city folk.
Yeah. Okay. Barn swallow. So they're a swallow. They're actually angry, mean birds, to be honest with you. But they're sitting in the barn, and there's one out when I was younger. My grandparents' farm, just sitting in the side, and it's usually kind of like I guess it's more you say a Quonset, but you still call them barn swallows, and that's where you keep the machinery in. And I was just casually walking on the dirt ground, chilling around, and no one's in there, so it's pretty cold in there since it's a lot of like steel, so it's not gonna get heat up at all. And it just kind of crapped right on my shoulder, and I was pretty scared about it because I thought it was someone and not a thing. And so that was about it.
But you thought someone like came on your shoulder or what?
I didn't know what to think. You should see me when I was younger. I was afraid of everything. If I was up at the farm,
Yeah, because you were allergic to the world.
well, okay, but I had to close all the shades. I couldn't look out pitch black. That scared me. I couldn't walk downstairs below myself. Yeah, it was amazing. I was
How do you conquer a fear like that?
Well, what actually excelled that fear was the freaking, what is that movie, Tom Sawyer? So yeah, Tom Sawyer had
The fucking guy with the
Joe,
beans
his name
underneath
was, or something they called him.
Indian Joe or whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't, no, that you're thinking about Dennis the Menace.
Oh,
You're
that's
thinking,
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. When he killed him and then he was stabbing him in the grave, and there's a shadow of him stabbing, I could not sleep for a long time after that.
We might have to watch that movie.
What
No,
movie?
let's not.
Maybe we'll review it.
It's Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer, and then his name in the movie is Injun Joe. So I don't know why they called him that, but
There you go.
Wow.
all right. So Nick, you're really feeling it.
Yeah. You.
Sorry, not me.
Yeah, I got another one. When my dog was younger,
Bernie,
yes, Bernie,
Thank you, Bernie.
the 10-year-old Spaniel Lab,
Mr. Dids.
He's doing great.
and he loves birds because spaniels really love birds, and like he likes chasing them, and we think he's part pointer because he does his little paw lift and points at him,
That's cute.
and then he like charges them, but he never catches them. But one time my sister's home alone with him, and it's during the day during the summer, and she's just watching him outside on the in the grass because we don't have a fence, so he's got his little shock collar. You got to keep him in line. So if he's getting out of bounds, you just got to shock him a little bit, and he comes back in. And so he was messing around with someone in the grass. My sister's like, what is he doing? And goes to investigate, and he's got a baby bird in his mouth, and he's tossing it up, and he tosses it up, catches it in his mouth, and puts it back on the ground. And
Without
then he like
hurting it?
No, well, I mean,
Okay. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
right.
it's kind of mangled. He's trying his best not to hurt it, and he like sees it like squirm around, then he picks it back up, tosses it up, catches it in his mouth, and puts it back down. And he did that for like, my sister was like, she was like trying to get it out of his mouth, and she was freaking out. She called my mom and was like, "Mom, Bernie's killing these birds in the backyard," and like she was like freaking out. And I mean, that's really it. Bernie's just a bird killer. That's all I can say. And so yeah, I think he killed 3 baby birds that day.
Poor guy.
Yep, relentless.
So, where do you think? I think we've asked you this question, and I don't know if we've gotten an answer, but where do you think your fear of birds originated, Preston?
It's interesting because I used to read this magazine called I knew we were going to get into this, so I kind of had it prepared.
Yeah.
But I used to read this magazine. I don't know if were you guys magazine kids?
Yeah, that would definitely.
I had a subscription to Ranger Rick.
Mm.
Do you guys have a subscription to Ranger Rick?
Mm-hmm.
The wildlife. I had my grandpa got me a subscription to National Geographic, and I also had a subscription to Sports Illustrated for kids, or Sports Illustrated Kids, whatever that was called.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to get into magazines, we can. But there used to be this like contest where you would send in your photos to like see. I don't know. If you have a good photo, they'll send it in. They'll like, I don't know, put your photo in the magazine, and you can win a little contest or whatever. Like, I don't know, free subscription for a year. I don't even know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, they're all taken by these big like $1,000 lenses, like blah blah. Yeah. And I had my little Kodak like camera basically, and I would sit there and I would like picture these cardinals that would sit on my bird feeders. We used to be a really big bird feeder family. I had like 3 of them in our backyard trees, and I would just sit there and like look at them, and I'd be like, God, these motherfuckers are weird. And I don't even know where like it's kind of weird because I used to be really big into birds. My grandpa got me like a Minnesota bird field guide, and we would go bird watching. But now I think I take it as I was studying the enemy. Like, I was just seeing what was out there and what they had to offer. I don't really know where it stemmed from. Mostly just because they're very different. They're like they can attack from the land with their claws, or the sky from their wings and their beaks, and they don't have. I find the fact that they just have holes in their head instead of ears really irks me for some reason, and like I hate looking at like baby birds are the worst. Like I hate the naked, suck. Like
they're cute.
Just like I just
it's
can't
just like a skull and like sprouts.
It's kind of crazy how really skinny birds are when
hollow
they're like
bones, hollow bones.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it's literally. And when you strip down their feathers, and that's. Did you guys? Okay, this is also random. Did you guys ever go to Shell's Brewery in New Ulm?
No.
No, no one's ever been there. They have peacocks roaming the grounds, and
I have been there.
Wait.
I have been there. Yep, I've been
Maybe
there.
I have been.
like I did
I didn't know the
my
name.
parents did a little tour, and they also make 1990 root beer, so I just I taste tested the root beer when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember they had peacocks roaming the ground, and I was very, very alert and aware of where the peacocks were at all times. And I remember specifically, like, there was one that kept following the group around the brewery, and I was always looking back at, like, because they said fucking, like, they were just roaming around, and I was just like, oh my God, we're going to get, like, ambushed. Like, he's got a plan. He's going to ambush us.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And so I was always keeping alert for that damn peacock.
And you saved that entire tour.
Yep, and I
say.
saved the
You
day.
really
You
did.
saved
Yep.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really
Your
did.
family.
A real American hero.
Going
Preston
off of that magazine thing,
Yeah,
actually, where you'd implement a photo and you kind of like, at the back end, or usually it was in the middle, see who the winner was. So Lego magazine, they actually did that a lot.
I also had a subscription
I
to
was
Lego
a
magazine.
big guy with that, and actually, if you look in my room right now, I have all of them cataloged from 2008 to 2016, 2017 of the Lego catalogs.
Wow,
That's
we,
what I like
we
to
were
hear.
17
And,
reading Lego catalog.
Yep. So if you were, I was a junior, you knew I was reading those Legos. But so at the end, so there's actually a photo my mom has. So like you can do a creation. Sometimes there's a different theme, and you build it.
Oh,
So this
yeah.
is a Star Wars one, and I put mine in there, hoping for the best, and now looking back, and it was pretty garbage. But I there's a photo out there, just a cute
Did it get
little
in?
chubby John. No, it didn't get in. I can't imagine how many people would be submitting it, but that was a great. You got such your bang for your buck. Another thing came out where it's like you would get it was like a Lego club member. And then you'd get these little tiny sets to come with it. You paid like $50 for the whole year, and you get these little things. And they actually came out with a bunch of Star Wars ones, mini ones, that were just sitting there, like a different Starfires, different vehicles, and they were great. You just got all these different pieces, and it just but it's just so much money, and they actually discontinued. I think Lego magazine's not what it used to be. I think it's all online now, and
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's a hot take too. Any Lego set that you're looking at in that catalog, no matter what set it is or anything, you imagining yourself having it, I always had way more fun just imagining what I would do with them.
100%.
And then once I actually would get one, it's like you just run out of things to do with it too quick, and it was just kind of disappointing.
I never suffered from that, but probably because I was just stuck in my room the whole entire time.
Lived on the high.
Yeah, I was definitely getting a great high of that little euphoria, but
Yeah.
I always
definitely.
wanted that Lego Death Star though.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
That's
$500.
massive.
Yeah,
that thing's still selling. People still trying to grab it.
That
Lego
thing's
Store
nuts.
Mall America, they still have it in stock. They
I mean,
always
they just
will.
keep remaking it too with the new minifigures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going sicko mode.
All right. Nick, what is your most prized Lego creation? Or Lego set or creation, or if you built something yourself.
It's a good question. I definitely more about the minifigs now than the sets themselves, just because, the money for sure. No, I mean, everybody had the 5-gallon tub, the 20-gallon tub. It just becomes too much after a while. You're just like, geez, what am I gonna do with all this
Oh yeah.
spit-filled hair?
gosh.
No, I'm kidding.
There's hair and dust bunnies and
Yeah,
dirt.
literally.
It's always gross.
Yep.
That's
But let's see, what was my favorite? I really liked the Republic assault tank.
Oh yeah.
That one was
I have no
couple
idea.
of gasps around the room. They know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of those. I got it. My cousin got it, and when we built it at Christmas together, it was like we got the whole squad here, boys. But yeah, for now, I mean, I really want to get back into building Legos, but again, they're so expensive. And
Literally.
the threshold to get to like the expert ones, you know, like the adult sets that are a little bit more advanced. They're just so much. It's just too much.
Wait, so that set, that's the walker, right? That attaches to the
Like the
dropship.
HETE? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
it's
the other one.
the tank is what you're talking about. Correct. It's hovering. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one.
If
That one.
you remember,
That has like the laser that.
kind of
that one?
No, well, that's in the Zillibeast episode, but yes, it's the same format.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm
Guys, we're
talking
really
about.
showing our true
Okay.
colors
Yep.
right now.
I love it.
Not the AT-AT, not the AT.
No,
not
obviously
the chicken
not.
walker.
That's the original.
I mean, let's just
my
go through
goodness.
all of them.
Well,
right
we're going
now.
through it's in the prequels. It's not in the.
Agreed.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, I find it interesting because I was never a Star Wars kid, so I never really got into Lego Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So my go-to, like my first, when I got into Lego, my first like sets were Lego SpongeBob.
Oh,
Lego SpongeBob.
yeah.
Jeez, Louise.
And I had the whole, I had SpongeBob's house, Squidward's and
Yeah.
Patrick's. I had the Krusty Krab. I had the boating school. I had Sandy's dome. I had just all this random shit. And then I remember in my mind, I graduated to Lego Harry Potter, and so I had this whole like ceremony where I destroyed my SpongeBob Harry Potter to put up the Lego Harry Potter on the bookcase in place of it. And
Wow.
yeah, so I was a SpongeBob Lego kid, which seems like a very niche market.
Yeah.
The only SpongeBob one I had was the superhero one. SpongeBob and Patrick were in their costumes.
Oh, I
and
did
they
not
did
have
a
that.
I had the chum
boatmobile.
bucket. I had the chum bucket.
I had that one too.
I remember seeing that
Yep.
in the magazine.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, yeah, I remember seeing that at your house. I was like,
He's like,
when did you come to
Never
my
been there.
house?
I will say though, I think we need to stop the stigma of Legos.
absolutely.
'Cause
Right
I
now,
remember
it stops right now with us.
Once a year, when I was from like maybe middle school to when I was in a sophomore year of high school, I would get the Lego catalog, and I would get the Christmas set. And you know how everyone has those like ceramic, like plasterine, like sets around their house where they put the little fluff snow, the cotton balls, and they have the little
yeah,
mini
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Well, basically that was my version of it. I would have the little towns, the little Lego Christmas towns, and I would set that on our little
Yeah.
like windowsill. So that was like my like I don't know, Christmas decorations. And so I asked that, and then I remember sophomore year, my mom comes, she's like, okay, so are we getting the Christmas Lego set again? And I was like, no, Mom, that's loser shit. Like
No.
I am 16
How
now. I
dare.
can drive a car. I don't
Yeah.
need Legos
Right.
to fulfill my fantasies. I can just drive 80 down the highway.
Now, oh my gosh! Now you look at Nick and I zooming over quarantine, saying, "What set you got here?" And we're spending 2 hours building a set, and here, I don't know. It's just kind of
No, yeah,
it's nostalgic for sure, but a lot of creativity comes from it. I remember multiple times I'd be sitting there listening to classical music when I was younger, because that's what my mom would put on, or Mike Bublé, and I would just grind on Legos. Rainy day during the summer.
that's the
Oh,
best.
thank you. I mean, I'll read my Tintin comics,
Yes,
and
dude.
we'll sit right there. Little
Dude,
transition.
graphic novels, baby.
Graphic novels. Yeah, great. I mean, everything about it.
the only
was
like graphic
fantastic.
novel I read was like Geronimo Stilton. You guys ever getting those books? The detective guy, the mouse detective.
For some.
Oh, maybe.
For some reason that name sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure.
I like had all his books, and the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. Those are my go-to books as a kid.
Gotcha. Is
Yep.
that the owl ones?
Yep. The movie is shite though.
I
Don't go watch the movie.
haven't read
Wait,
or
so
seen.
it's
either.
another thing having to do with birds. Is this where it came from? Knowing your enemy?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was a bird guy for sure, which is very weird.
I think you just got too close. I think it's like flying too close to the sun.
Yep, I
Right.
flew
Like
too
people
close to the
don't
sun.
get that close to birds, and maybe that's
yeah, Geronimo
why.
Stilton. Yeah. And
Oh
yeah.
my God! Yeah.
Yes, definitely read those books.
Mhm.
Yes.
I like read them all.
Ever seen
And
that.
like the thing I remember about the books is that whenever they have like a crazy adjective or like a crazy verb, which is like the genius of this book, is to like showcase these words that you probably didn't know as a kid. They would like do a little like thing with the word, like to show like I don't even know, like I can't
Like a
think of one.
footnote?
No. Like they would like if it was neon, they'd make the word neon instead of like black and white
Oh,
or like something like that. Like it would be just
that's
I
cool.
do
Yeah.
know what you're saying.
And I really enjoyed those books. Those were I remember specifically second grade was the great time to read those books.
Mm-hmm.
They fun fact in our library in Jamestown, it's called Alfred Dickey Library, and so there's it was an old library, but they had there was a tub in the bottom. So like you'd go up, and once you walk in, you either go downstairs, and that's kind of where the younger adult books are. And if you go upstairs, you got the computers, you got the encyclopedias, you got, young adult fiction, and then you go farther back, or the big, block text ones that my mom always read, the text is like font, it's probably like 50 on the page. But anyways, downstairs they had this little tub, and this tub would be in in an aisle, so like you could see who's coming in, who's coming out. So sometimes you got in that tub, man, you're sitting really good at reading. But some other times you come walking back from middle school, you see two others sitting in the tub, and you knew that you're not going in there to get that book in that aisle because they're going to town. So it's just like, all right. So I guess use the quiet hour. But what mystified me was how quiet they were down there. I was just like, if you're going to town, good night. That's all I'm going to say. Good night.
Well, it's middle schoolers going to town. I mean.
Yeah. When you say going to town, you mean like reading or like?
Oh no, I mean like.
Okay.
I mean they just discovered what kissing is or whatnot. But exactly, these are the kids that are sitting at the outdoor pool as a lifeguard and say they're behind behind underneath the town, like, hey, you knock it off over there, like you get out, whatever. That's the cringy guys just going in, just slopping and
slopping. It's so fucking bad. Seeing the kids who are going through puberty and exploring their sexuality at the public pool, that's the worst.
Why would they do that though?
That's because there's so much sexual tension with kids then.
Okay, guys, I will say.
Don't say
no. Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please,
so
really don't.
when we were in middle school, me and my friend group had the season pass to Bunker Beach, which was like the outdoor water park in our little county.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Mm-hmm. And our thing was, we would play What Are the Odds, if you guys know what that game is, and the pool. So the best part about going to the pool wasn't actually swimming, it was just this damn game. And basically, one time we told Patrick, my friend, like, what are the odds you go talk, it was like, what are the odds you go talk to these girls? And the best part is that we prefaced it with, oh, when you were gone to the bathroom, we told these girls that you liked them. And so he was like, shitting his pants, like, oh my God. And so we got him. And so the best part was, okay, you go fix it. The best part was when he went up there, so we got him on the 1 in 20, basically. So we had to go talk to these girls. And the first thing he does when he goes up to them is clears the air and says, hey guys, I don't like you in the way that my friends told you that you think, like, I like you. But they were so confused. They were like, "What? Like, we never said anything to these guys about like you liking us." Like, and he just looked like a jackass. That's basically the moral of the story. And
I would be afraid of your friend group, to be honest.
Same.
Like my friend group was, man, we memed. I mean, we really did. But man, you guys really took it to another level. I think you're honestly on that line, and you were kind of cross. I don't know. Who cares? It's middle school, right?
No, I mean, those are some of the best times when we're just dunking each other in the wave pool, and Mitchell puts you down. You don't know if you're coming back up. And you get taken by the fucking just like 6-foot wave that's coming at you. And we're in the tube. So here's the thing. We would buy the tube for $2, and we would. So basically, in the wave pool, you're there. You're in the wave pool just as people, but then you also have the tubers that are in the deeper water,
yes.
And they're just riding the soft waves that aren't as rough, right? Well, we would buy the tube for $2 for 2 hours, and we would buy the tube and go on the crash point of the wave, where it would fold over, and then you really start zooming.
Yep.
And so we would buy the tube, and we'd slowly start creeping up. We started the 6 foot, and we'd slowly start creeping towards the 3 foot, where the waves start crashing. And when the waves crash, you just once again you start zooming, and so we would try to see how many people we could take out. With the tube.
Oh my God.
And sometimes we had some bad accidents where we would like hit little kids or like
would have never guessed.
Or their parents. And we got yelled at a lot for doing that.
I'm surprised they didn't remember your face.
No, they probably
you
do.
out.
Yeah, we were probably on a wanted poster in the back. Back
Probably.
room.
Had a bounty on your head.
Mhm, probably.
Holy
Well, I'm
shit.
surprised was Susan even
No,
there to
Susan
watch
doesn't know
you?
anything. They drop us off
Oh.
for the day, and we get picked
Oh
up
my
later.
gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Because Susan
those are
would
the
cap
worst
you.
kids. When the parents are gone and they
Yep.
literally run free.
Well, we were like, I don't know. I remember we were like, we were scoping out girls, but it's just funny to think about like me now, like thinking about like me as 13, like we were just like, oh yeah, we got a shot, like, you know.
Let me wreck this 3-year-old in the waiting pool real quick.
Yeah.
That'll show
Wild
that'll show how hot I am when I just blow the freaking shit out of this 3-year-old. Yeah.
Jeepers. Well, there's you ever did that kind of like the wading pool? They had the lazy river, and there was one in Mandan Water Park where you go to the water park, but it was kind of deep actually, and then the waves would come in, like there'd be like a horn or something, and then the waves go, and then suddenly you go like, oh, I fell off my tube, I can't believe what's going on, and then you're just going with the waves, and it felt great. And then I actually got to swim in the ocean, probably like 2 years ago. I was like, wow, that really isn't fun, getting taken that current. I was like, why did I do that back then? But yeah, water parks are really. There's a great one in South Dakota called, it was like Waitiki Water Park, and it's in Rapid City. And in my brain, that is like a heaven, maybe, or a palace, big kingdom. It holds a really high regard there.
Heaven.
Another weird fact
hop in heaven.
about me as a kid, I was also very scared of water slides. I didn't go down my first water slide until I was like 10, because I was very scared of them.
Were the yellow ones always the fastest ones for you guys?
We
The
only
yellow ones
have
were always the
one.
fastest.
Well, the yellow ones are always the body slides.
Yep.
That always just
Yeah.
zoom you.
And you go in there and you just junk, and then
Yep.
you're gone.
Yep.
You
And
see
they
on
always
the
rip
other
up your
side.
back as you're going down, and
Yeah,
each
thank
section
you.
of the slide just hits
Thank
you.
you.
Oh yeah, like at Wisconsin Dells, there's some that just you get into this like pod, like you're gonna be fucking frozen for 50 years.
Mhm.
Like they shut you in
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff, and then like you have a little countdown. You have to cross your arms
Yep. Classic.
over, like I don't know if it was over your head or just over your chest or whatever, but then like the countdown goes and then the floor just drops
Yeah.
out and you just get fucking sent.
Whoa. Yeah, I've never been down one of those, but that also seems scary.
Yeah.
Well, it's terrifying because, like, if you're not up all the way up against the back, there's that little bit of time
Oh my God.
where you're just
Just
not
free
moving.
falling?
Whip your
You're
head.
just straight
Yeah.
falling, just absolute free fall
okay.
until you start hitting part of the slide again.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, another thing me and my friends would do, I mean, I don't know if this is a common thing, it probably is, but we would also see how many times we could flip the tube in the slide and get back in. So we'd go down the slide with the tube, we're on top, right? We're riding the tube regularly. And then right as we get out of the view of the lifeguard, we just would flip the tube, we would jump out of the tube, flip it, try to get back in, and then flip it again. And we would just be like, going like this, and so, half the time, Eric's getting left behind. He's not even on the tube anymore. Or just like,
God.
I have to hold my hand there to save the tube so he can slide down, and then we get back on the tube again and continue.
Oh my
And just
goodness.
like, I don't know. We were just going wild.
The thing about Benson is there's only one slide, right?
Really?
There's one slide.
Is it a tube slide or
It's
body
a body slide.
Okay.
And so the thing, when you have just that one slide, every inch of that thing, like the back of your hand, where every single bump is, every single like bad turn, like exactly how that
Because
thing
you've been
works.
down it a million times.
Yep. And so you start crafting, like the lifeguards know the fastest way to do it. Like you go on your shoulder blades and your heels. So there's minimal friction.
Touching the
No,
water.
yeah. Yes, exactly. So you minimize the friction as much as possible and you just freaking go. Like,
Jeez.
yeah. But so yeah, we
You guys crafted the perfect way to get
yeah,
down there.
you do it so much that I'm like kids would go through this thing. They go down, they'd circle up and go back up, and they go down, and it's literally just constant for probably like 6 hours.
Oh my
It never got old.
It never gets.
They would fuel up with the fudge sickles or the sickles and
Shickles.
lemon heads, yeah.
lemon heads,
They say,
airheads.
I'll get 4 for $1 and just go.
Yep, that's exactly. And they always came with quarters too, because that's all their mom
Yep.
gave them,
Yep.
or dad,
Mm.
or
Yep.
whoever. But yeah, that was
In the little Ziploc bag.
I remember me and my sister, whenever we'd be at any place with like a water park or whatever, if there was a lazy river, we'd always we'd just go sicko mode. Our dad would be behind us and he'd be trying to like catch up with us and just whatever. So we're just trying to fucking weave in between all the different tubes
Right.
that got left behind, just trying to get away from our dad and just Yeah, great time.
I think I also did something similar, where we would once again we try to flip each other in the tube of the lazy river, and once you flipped someone, you were it, and you had to go on the rampage, and you had to flip someone else.
Oh, in the lazy. I thought we were still talking about the freaking slide. I'm like,
Oh,
never
no,
mind.
that would
Yeah.
never work.
That brings me to another point. YMCA, Jamestown had a YMCA before it changed to whatever. It's like a college athletic center now. But they had a pool in there, so it was indoor. They had these boats that were made of like different colored styrofoam floaties, kind of like, so think of like the baby floaties, you know, like you put on a kid, and then just stack them together. They had like these circular ones, and then they had like these big like rectangle boats that you could stand on them, you could be in there.
What the hell?
I don't even know how it was legal, but it'd be just like all out war. You
Something
had
water safe?
Yeah, you'd have like 2 to 3 friend groups going in. There'd be 3 different boats. You get these noodles, and it was, I mean, World War III. You couldn't believe it, and it was all in the deep end too. So if one's down, I mean, you don't even know if they're coming back up. So it was pretty great. And my mom just sat there and watched it. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, Miss Renee, I just can't believe that. But
Nick, does Owatonna have an outdoor water park or something like that?
Yeah, River Springs, baby.
River Springs.
But that was opened a little later in the old time in Owatonna. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what he's doing in the bathroom. But
And he's dying. I think water went down the
I
wrong
hope
pipe.
we're picking that up. I hope we're getting the.
We
Okay,
get
so he
everything in
stopped.
this
He can
room.
hear us now. Okay.
He's fine.
All right,
He's
so he
emerging.
heard us. He heard
All right,
us.
so he heard us.
All right,
Everybody,
act natural.
everybody,
I just don't even acknowledge him.
Guys,
Don't
Dark
Dark
we-
Blue Teals.
Plutonium, to answer your question, how often are these episodes going to
I
happen?
think that's
They're
Brad
gonna-
or Dan.
Oh, yeah. They're going to happen once every Wednesday. We're going to I think we're going to start them around 9.
Yeah,
That's pretty much our time, I think.
it's just an hour.
Going off of something I was just looking up on the news. Go off the news. So get this. I have a problem with pronouncing words, so bear with me. So someone please translate for me. Gynecologist?
Gynecologist.
Thank you.
There it is.
There it is. Sorry, folks. Someone clip it for me, please, real quick. So guess what? He was frauding from he was like giving people surgeries, you know, kind of laundering, or like where he's like giving hysterectomy. Okay, he's giving hysterectomies where
Okay.
people don't actually need him, and so he's getting more money. Guess what his sentence was? How many years he got in?
Wait, what is this? Is this some dude from Jamestown?
No, this is just some
You just saw
national
this?
news, just a kind of a headline.
What was his sentence?
Yeah, guess how long?
I'm
it
guessing
was.
Wait,
it was
what is a
extremely low. I'm
hysterectomy?
going to say maybe 2 years, 3 years.
You don't want a hysterectomy. That's all I know.
Hysterectomy is taking out the uterus and the fallopian tube. It's just like getting your tubes tied, basically, and it's basically like getting a vasectomy for male. It's basically so you just can't have any kids. They take out your reproductive organs.
And yeah, so but you
I'm
just-
gonna say 2 to 3 years. That's my guess.
I'd say 10 years.
Well,
Wait,
did
how many offenses did he have against him? Do you know? Like, was it in like the tens, hundreds?
It was 52 felony counts.
Jesus. Wait, so he would just be like saying, oh,
I
like
would
they'd be
say-
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm having like problems, abdominal problems.
Maybe, yeah.
And he would go in there and be like, oh, so we need to do this procedure, even though they probably didn't.
Yeah, I don't think it was just only hysterectomy. I think that was a big part of it. Maybe that was the most absurd one, but
Mhm.
like it was just unnecessary surgeries. And anyone else want to take a guess?
I feel like it'd be 15 or 20, because like.
Well, I feel like the number's either gonna be like
But I mean,
ridiculously high or low.
if it's like a doctor or that kind of stuff, if you're telling your patients wrong information, like,
yeah.
That's
we
your
have to
whole
do this kind of
career.
stuff, like, holy,
Yeah, isn't that
like, you're done for.
No, that's like you lose your license.
right?
and
Right.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. Because you like, sign this oath to.
I'll say $120 fine.
And a
Love
slap
that
in the
price.
ass.
Actually, it was 465 years.
400.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Absolutely 465. I don't know why. That's another question. Nice little going off on a little tangent here. But why? How did they determine that? Like,
How many,
why
how
not
many is that per
365?
case?
Why not just?
How many is that per case?
I don't know.
5 years per, and then they just go.
Yeah,
So
I have no idea.
465.
But would it be
the best
different for
part is-
different surgeries?
That's a
though?
question for
The
Susan.
best part is
instead.
that means that dude's not getting out, because these guys that get sentenced like one sentence for life in prison,
And get-
they appeal it. They go through the court and they blah blah, and they're wrongfully accused or whatever the hell. They can get out. But if this guy has 52 cases against him for 400 years, yeah, he gets one appealed, but he still has 300 whatever years left. You know what I'm saying?
Would
So that
you-
dude's never getting out.
Wouldn't you be afraid of like just punishing him to the ultimate point, which I mean, obviously he deserved it, but like being acquitted because of going too far in.
Why would he be acquitted?
I don't know. It's just like a crazy amount of sentence. Just be like, oh, he was overpunished for what he did, or some maybe in the law. But maybe my understanding is
Well, I mean,
completely
the thing
wrong.
is though, like, were these women wanting to have kids? And all
Yeah,
that
that
kind
is
of
true.
stuff?
Like,
I
were they
don't-
young enough to still like actually have like, you know,
Yeah.
healthy children?
Did they not
very,
understand
very
that
good
like
point, Ted.
they wouldn't be able to have children after this or that kind of stuff?
Well, I'm assuming that it's like hey, the doctor would have. I mean, I don't fucking know anything, but I would, and we're all males talking about this shit. But I would just assume that, you know, the doctor would be like, "Hey, you kind of have this serious issue, and these are the only steps that are going to be taken to, like, you know."
It's not like they got home and they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, okay.
All right, so you read more in the
Wait,
article.
I
I read
okay.
more in the article,
Okay,
and it
yeah.
was that. So this is my own fault, but he actually didn't perform these surgeries. He just billed the insurance companies that he did do them, where he actually did
Oh,
it.
so it was like insurance fraud.
Yeah. So it's insurance fraud.
All right.
Classic.
All right,
Kingpin's
guys.
classic.
465 years for that.
Yeah.
That is kind of crazy.
For not even doing the surgeries.
Right? Yeah, that's
So that's
weird.
even more.
Huh, that's interesting, actually.
That's like on the flip end, like
Glad
I
we
feel,
doesn't
found that
actually
I
out.
deserve
feel
it.
like that should just be as soon as you can pay a
A fine.
pay a fine or that kind of stuff.
But was there bail
That's
set for
one
him,
thing.
John? Do you know?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, you're not getting out of that, buddy.
There's
I feel,
no
yeah, I feel
way.
like doing the surgeries would be much, much worse. And if
Right.
you got
Well, yeah.
400 years for not even doing the surgeries, like what on?
you get
If
death
he
row,
did
baby.
do them, what the heck would he get?
Yeah, you get death, baby.
Yeah, jeez.
Sentence.
I think it was a combination now. The article is poorly written, but it's from Insider.
Did you guys ever watch that Netflix series called The Pharmacist?
Never.
I definitely have heard of it, but I don't know the plot. Really.
I watched it. It's very interesting. It's about the opioid. Can't say that word. Opioid epidemic
word,
in
fun
America during like the 90s and 2000s.
You told me about this
Yeah,
in the spring.
it's very interesting. It's about this like local pharmacist in Louisiana, right out of New Orleans, and basically he starts getting these people that come in and are like, they're asking to be prescribed opioids, and he's like, okay, what's your illness? And he's like, oh, I have headaches or like something like that. And like, so he's like thinking to himself, he's like, well, why do you need opioids to like? And he starts like questioning these like people, and then it comes out that his son actually died of an overdose, and so he's like really driven to like solve this case and who's doing this and blah 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 blah. I mean, I wouldn't spoil it for you guys, but it's very interesting. You guys should check it out. It basically talks about how like, you know, they're a silent killer, and like prescription pills are really, you know, you get prescribed something and you become addicted to it pretty easily.
Damn, that's crazy.
And there's these things, and they actually came out with the case that this documentary was built on. Purdue Pharma actually got charged like over like $11 billion for wrongfully prescribing and making of OxyContin, basically.
Holy
And,
shit.
yeah. And basically they were just setting up these pill mills, they'd call them, where like these, you know, I don't even know what you want to call it, like just like wrong doctors that would like just prescribe these patients these pills. Everyone would just come to them and they would just get prescribed all these pills, and so the doctor would make a bunch of money, and then
Yeah,
you know they go their separate ways, and then they come back the next week and get their next prescription.
that's crazy.
Jeez, that kind of you're talking about. What was the name of that show?
The Pharmacist.
Pharmacist.
on
So I was
Netflix.
thinking the pharmacy. So you know, as in what was I thinking about? Oh, so you know, so we're in COVID. You know,
Yeah.
right now I just find it wild that there's multiple different like pharmaceutical companies are trying to find a cure,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like I want to know how many companies currently are actively trying to find
No,
that.
that's a big fucking. If they make that, that's cash.
Right. So just
That's
think
the
of the
lottery.
race though. In that whatever office, whatever warehouse they're going in, like these guys, I wonder how much they're going to make, because like if they can find it, but also these guys must be the smartest. I mean, there's got to be a lot of big brains in there, and they
Yeah.
still haven't found one. So it's like, and this is just not in the U.S. This is all over, like in the world. I'm wondering, like, is this going to be up like, okay, everyone dish it out, or is it going to be like, okay, here's our price tag, you got to pay it before you get it?
That's what it always is. It's always like.
So that's kind of interesting, because like right now we think like, oh, just until we get like a vaccine or something, then everything will be okay. I'm like, who's going to pay that money, and then how are you going to distribute it to everyone?
Right, and that's just, I mean, that's privatized medicine, basically.
Right,
That's
very
capitalism, baby. That's just the way she rolls, and I wish she didn't roll. But
She didn't really.
Get that tattoo on my chest. I might have to.
There's
Yeah.
actually there is the vaccines that there's one that was found that was 90% effective.
yeah, by the Pfizer or Pfizer,
Oh,
Yeah.
Pfizer. That's
there
what it is.
Yep.
that makes sense. No, yeah, it's kind
So
of
it's
a-
yeah,
It's close, around the corner.
Yep.
hopefully. I mean, they're predicting then, I don't know, was it November they're saying something back when we were in springtime, but
Yeah, they were predicting around the holidays it'd come out. So yeah, I think we're pretty close to it. It kind of just makes me like think about like obviously making a vaccine for the flu is very different because we've had different strands of the flu. You just need to tweak it a little bit, basically. And like it's just crazy that we've never really seen anything like this virus, and so they kind of have to start from scratch.
Right.
Like, I have no fucking idea what goes into making
Oh,
a
yeah.
vaccine, but like, I mean, I just
nor
don't-
does Nate. He's just new to vaccines, to be honest.
yeah, they just
with
put
you.
the egg whites in there and they go nuts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got viewers didn't know, yeah, Nate just wasn't used to vaccines when he's younger. If you want to
That's
dive
very
into a little
true.
bit of that, Nate,
Uh.
you don't really
Yeah.
have to.
Yep. That it was my personal decision to get vaccinated once.
And we thank you for
once
it.
I went to college. So
Wow.
Good old
decipher that
GAC.
as you will.
I think I asked you this when I went to Benson. Maybe we talked about it with your mom, but I was like, "Do you think your mom will get the vaccine for COVID-19?"
Yeah.
I actually, I don't know if I want to get into that. Really? Henry reports that Emily says no.
There's your answer. Henry does spend a lot of time at my house for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It's not like he lives in Benson.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But hey, it's a big place.
That's an interesting thing about the people that don't get the vaccine or whatever. I mean, honestly, I think anti-vaccine is an interesting ideology because if you believe in anti-vaccine, you believe in herd immunity, which means you believe that vaccines work, which is very funny to me.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
you don't vaccine your kids because no one else has the disease. And no one else has the disease because of herd immunity, which everyone is basically vaccinated. So if enough people
They
are vaccinated,
coincide,
you don't
yeah.
need to vaccinate everyone.
Well, I mean, like a lot of the anti-vax like ideology is based on that there's like signs that point to it causing
Like brain damage and
Yeah.
like autism.
Well,
Yeah, I
like
mean, yeah.
autism, that kind of stuff.
So that's the other side of it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if they would really. I doubt they really think about the herd immunity kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
mean-
they just think whatever it is just isn't a problem, or it's not bad enough that.
Right. Or the
That's what
vaccine
it
does
is.
more
It's
harm.
not bad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the vaccine does more harm than
Yep.
good.
Right. Yeah.
Because that can very well happen. You get the vaccine and then you become sick the next day because your body can't even, like the white blood cells can't even fight off the small dose that there was given to you,
Mhm.
which is
But I mean, that's kind of how it.
that's how she rolls.
That's how
And
it rolls.
it's a shame that she rolls.
Yeah, wish she didn't roll.
Why she didn't roll.
She wish she never did it. Well, kind of tailing off of that, for viruses, we're talking about whatever, computer viruses. Have you ever had a bad experience with a computer virus? Because I know when my dad, when he would get a computer virus, he wouldn't eat supper. He wouldn't eat anything. He would stay down there from work, and it'd be work time. It would just be, he'd be resetting. You'd hear a bunch of like that. That's his thing right there. He'd just do this like little tongue click, and that's when he's mad. He's off his rocker. Mom doesn't even go down there, and it's a desktop too, and it's kind of in the corner. I'm scared to even ask, "Hey, Dad, could I watch some TV down here?" Or something?
And he's on the phone with McAfee support.
And,
and,
no, he's a big what's it, Norton? It's Norton.
Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Norton.
classic Norton, and he
Great.
got that on my computer too. He's just like, "You need this," and I was just like, "Thanks, Dad." But I remember a time when we were Preston, we were watching like 1, 2, 3 movies.
we basically
or
were trying to.
freshman year.
Yeah, we were trying
year.
to pirate a movie. I think it was Interstellar actually, and we were on 1, 2, 3 movies, and we were on my computer, and I was like, I've done this plenty of times, boys, and not actually. I've actually never done it from 1, 2, 3 movies.
So he's lying to
before
me
then.
again. Don't worry about
Yep.
it. Don't worry about it.
It's a classic, but I click like download, and then I just see a bunch of just like files just go into my freaking Dropbox,
And it was just Preston and I were just like,
And
we kind of looked at each other.
and then the computer starts going. Like it just doesn't stop, and it's just constant. I'm like, oh my god, how do we stop? And I had to like basically just like force quit the whole program, and just I was like, all right, so now I have like 300,000 files in my computer, and I just had my storage just go, and so I had to just delete all that shit.
But what was the aftermath though? Because I remember you were still using it, and then we saw the effects later when your computer didn't even.
I don't know if it was related, but my computer did just like crap out. Like one time, the screen just didn't turn on one day. Like I could use the keyboard and stuff, and like I knew my mouse was working because I could like click on stuff, and like I have the what do you call that, MacBook Pro, where the 2018 version where they have the touch bar on there.
Yeah.
And so I could see that I was interacting with stuff, and that was backlit, so that was fine. But the LCD wasn't working on the screen, and they said it wasn't related because I told them about that. I was like, oh yeah, so I had a bunch of these files because I'm a bastard. But yeah, they said they're like, we've never seen this problem. I mean, it's the classic.
It's
like,
a
tech
template.
support, like,
It's a template that they just send. Put your Preston
Yeah.
Hansen on top, and like, I'll just send it.
My
away.
dad works in tech support, so and like since he's been working from home from quarantine, like I kind of like. I knew what my dad did before. Like I knew he worked as tech support for this company, but now I like actually get to like, he's in his office. So I get to like hear what he's doing. He's like, and it's always the classic, like have you turned it on and off again? Like like the job is what it sounds like.
We pulled out the LAN cable,
and he's giving the excuses like, oh yeah, technology, man, it's never your friend when you want it to be, or something like that. And it's just funny that like, yeah, quarantine has been really interesting because I've actually like, yeah, I guess I've gotten really close with my parents for
same.
It's been good for that.
The spring semester, I was right next to my like I had a desk in basically there's our basement, right, and then there's a little another room.
A little
like
nook.
off to the like a little nook area, but there's like a door frame, but there's no door, and so that's like our art room, whatever, where my mom does sewing and like crafting, stuff like that. And so that's where I had my my desk for all of spring semester, and then my dad had his work desk when we were in quarantine for all of his office stuff, and so he was doing calls to like sales calls
right.
and talking like you can just tell like he sells tractors for John Deere, and you have to talk to a lot of old guys with that, and you can just tell like some guys are like nice and stuff, but then my dad's like, no, you see, I can't, like, we got to go through this. And he's like, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But we got to,
Yeah.
And so he's dealing with, and he gets off the call. He's like, yeah, he's just a piece of work.
He's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's fun to see, like, inside the.
Yeah, because you're like, my parents go to work every day, and then they come home.
Yeah.
And you don't actually get to, I feel like a lot of who they are as a person is actually expressed in their work, and how they interact with colleagues and customers or whatever. And it's funny because actually my parents used to work during quarantine. They used to work in my mom's master bedroom, or my parents. I don't know why I said my mom's, but my parents' master bedroom. And then my mom just got sick and tired of hearing my dad's calls, and she kicked him down into the spare room, which now became his office.
That's where I sleep.
And that's where John sleeps when he stays at my house. And that's where you could stay too if you stayed at my house, you lucky viewer. That's right. We're starting a contest.
Wow.
You're going to enter in to stay one night in Kelsey Hanstead's old room. You could wake up at 8 a.m. to Steve Hansen coming in
leave a comment.
and starting
We're
his
gonna
calls.
we're one random viewer.
Yep. We're going to do a little raffle.
Wow.
Yep.
Guys, that's a funny thing.
No one
For
can
all
hear you,
legal
John.
purposes, that is a joke.
Oh, I remember. So like my dad always still had to go to work during quarantine because
Really?
he's a doctor and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like you can't really shut a hospital.
Yeah.
But did you guys ever have to do like job shadowing in like middle school or early high school?
Like to shadow your parents?
No, like you just had to pick somebody, and I really didn't want to like call anybody else for anything like that. So I just went home and I was like, "Hey, Dad, can I just go to work with you?
I want to
for a
become a
day?"
doctor.
So yeah, there's a
Really,
picture
son?
somewhere of me
With
and
like a lab coat?
me and Dr. Blaze just hanging
That's
out.
a fucking
at the
hell of a name.
hospital.
I love that.
So,
Sounds like lawsuits. That's all I didn't know. Dr. Blaze just sounds like one of those.
He's the one that did the 52 hysterectomies.
Oh God.
yeah,
Sounds
all
like
I
a
know
plastic
is
surgeon.
Sounds like a porn star.
some guy had to get sent off to a foot specialist because of gout or something, and that's about all I really learned that day.
Gout. That'll get you.
One funny thing. So my dad, really when he works when we were younger, he used to be on call a lot, which is kind of like, oh, someone was like admitted into the state hospital or something like that, because he's a counselor and works for the state. And so he'd be on call, so he'd have this little TV stand, and it's oftentimes would be on Sunday. So you got the Vikes game going on. Then on the side you had his, the yellow a notepad, black pen, G2 Pilot, and then he had his flip phone for work that they would give him. And once that thing called, it'd be a snap of the finger. I have to go to my room because everything's confidential.
Yep.
Vikes game would go off, so that'd make him even more mad. And so, if he would go on a call, and then the best part is he would have to go out multiple times. Vikings would lose. That means we'd not go out to eat, and we'll probably get Domino's pizza, and we just sit there in silence, and I'll just drink my little quarter can of Mugs.
Hell yeah.
Right. Because your parents can't let you have too much
Yeah,
sugar, so
right.
you get the
Exactly, and everyone's just
Half a
kind of
can.
walking around on their tippy toes a
Yeah,
little bit.
they're looking around the corners.
He's not. I love the guy. It's just kind of funny. Maybe
But
I
he
hype
beats
it
me.
up too much. Yeah. No, he never did.
Yeah,
Never
he-
touched the hair. But okay.
After you showed him what's up.
Yeah,
After you beat
you're
him
right.
back.
Right when I showed him. After the 2009 season of the Vikings, he really let up a little bit because he saw the championship aspirations. But we're coming down to close here. 50,
Yeah.
Really? How long have we been going?
56 minutes.
56 minutes. So
Oh, we got a couple minutes.
Yep.
Right. But I just kind of wonder because, like, hopefully when I get in my job or career, that, like, my work ethic is also the same as in, like, in my family life or something like that. I'm just kind of intrigued by the whole aspect of that. If, like, I can be able to distinguish, like, work from home,
Mm-hmm.
but also, like, keep, like, once I walk out the door of my house, and I'd be like, okay, I'll take the stress, and go to the job, hopefully professor. But then when I come home, like, then I'm able to enjoy, like, my family or if I do
you
have
gotta
one.
you have to, and it's tough because, like, especially when you work from home, it's hard to have those boundaries.
Exactly.
It starts to bleed into your.
Yeah.
So where's his relax point? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, where's his 'cause, like, here, like, we have, like, we can come to the apartment, we can chill out, or we go in our rooms, and then we can settle down, wind down. But, like, I wonder for them, people during quarantine, how that works out for them. How do they develop develop new strategies, listen to different music, or kind of work out more? I don't know. It's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've just been fascinated by how the schools have been able to adapt for quarantine, and just, like, how many adjustments have been needed to made so quickly, and especially teaching little kids that can't sit there for how many hours looking at a screen, and just they don't get their recess. It's just very interesting. My sister teaches dance and in Minneapolis, and so, like, she, like, was, like, watching this thing with her, like, these kids, like, she was watching this, like, tape, and they're like at the dance performance, like, she was just watching this, like, playback of, like, okay, this is what, like, look at these people dance, and then she was going to ask them questions like that. They were going to analyze it, whatever. But then they were like, oh, Miss Kelsey, why are these people in a dance, like a recital hall, without their masks? And they were, like, very confused about why they were in this big social gathering. They're like, that's more than 50 people or whatever the hell. And, like, it's very interesting to me how these little kids just now have this, like, in their brain, like, stay away. Like, I just really wonder what it'll do to, like, their social skills and, like, how they develop as humans.
I think it'll just be a short-term thing.
Really?
I think because I don't think this is gonna last more than, like,
Past next year.
Yeah, not past 2 years.
Yeah.
Also, we have Dark Plutonium says they do get recess though.
Really? So they just, well, I mean, recess is just like, oh, go in your backyard and then,
I guess.
And then-
Go play with a stick,
go play with
kid,
yourself.
and come back.
Yeah, go toss some birds around in your backyard.
Yeah, in your mouth.
Yeah.
Probably still burning.
It's
Yeah.
still burning.
Yeah, that's a
One thing I wonder about, just, like, especially middle school, like, science and those kind of classes.
Mhm.
I wonder if they ever have that same sort of sense of wonder when, like, we would have it when we see the big TV on the cart come into the classroom with the VHS
Thank you,
player
Teddy.
and all
Oh,
that
my.
kind of stuff.
And you're like,
I wonder if
yes.
if they just turn on the smart board or whatever. I feel like it just wouldn't be there anymore.
I had smart boards in seventh. I had smart boards in elementary school.
Tell you that board. I mean, you're talking about that, that VHS tape coming in
Yeah,
with that thing.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was still happening. Me and Mr. Kozel's chemistry class my junior year. Like that was some of those
Oh my
like the
God.
information on that thing. He was just like, nah, this can't get old. He's like,
Oh,
this
no,
is the
yeah.
best out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could laugh at the guy giving the information, but man, I mean, I got A's on those tests.
Can't argue with science.
But I mean, like especially Bill Nye. When it was a Bill Nye day in science,
Yep.
you're just going nuts.
That's
And I
classic.
want, like-
Bill.
Do you think they still watch it? And like, is it only on VHS or like, are there?
No,
don't
I
know.
mean, there's probably downloadable. I mean, I don't know.
Who knows?
You know, the world may never know. And with that,
We'll discuss it next time.
we'll continue the Bill Nye conversation next week. Teddy. Oh wait, how did we do the wrap up? Was it? So then John did the wrap up.
I don't know. I
Anyway,
think anyone can do the rap.
okay, I'm wrapping. Thank you to viewers watching right now. I can't tell how many are here.
But thank you. We
at least
appreciate
three.
you.
We appreciate
at least three.
At
Thanks,
least
Manny.
3.
Go
And,
Loons.
we appreciate every single one of you. These will go up on Spotify eventually when we do that, and
Yeah.
then also the recordings will go up on YouTube. First episode should be up by tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you missed that one, go check it out on
Wow.
YouTube's. LooneyBin Productions, I think is what it should be. Or is it podcast?
the battery's just about to go out.
LooneyBin Productions is the channel name. Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, so thank you for listening to the LooneyBin Podcast. Do we see the name?
No, we're done.
All right, we're done. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next week.
Next week.
Bye.